Right.
Right. Yeah. So what would you like to talk about today?
So the first thing that I'd like to look at is the shop element, and how the whole setup, sort of go through a detail setup if we can on example. We are thinking about doing a calendar for selling to our prospective fundraisers. And also we've had people donate handmade sort of gifts, and we're wondering if they give us permission, whether that's something that we can sell on. The other thing that we've done is we've signed up for Run for Charity, and as part of that, they are going to send people who register for a running event to our site to sign up on a fundraising page that they can create. So I would like to go through how the fundraisers create a page in a bit more detail, so that I can be thinking about how to head off any questions or concerns, and whether I've given them the right link to be able to do that from a Run for Charity perspective.
Okay, no problem. I'll talk through those then. Hello, Hannah. We can't see you at the moment, but this is the general Q&A as well. So,
Morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, morning. So yeah, Hannah, we're just going to go through Catherine's questions. So, anything from yourself?
I'm brand new to the organisation. It's my first time working in fundraising. I've always been in the corporate world. So my manager literally shared this link with me and said these could be quite useful to get to know the platform. So I'm here as a complete newbie, trying to be a bit of a sponge.
Okay, all right. Should we, Catherine, is it okay with you then if we do a quick 5 minutes overview of and Hannah, for yourself, of who we are and what we provide, and then we can go into Catherine's more specific and detailed questions. Okay, then I think it'll be more relevant to you after that, Hannah. Okay.
Lovely, thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'll share my screen. My screen share is going to be over here, so I'm going to be looking over here, and I will do a quick 5 minutes of who we are. Hello, Megan. Right, so a quick 5 minutes of who we are. Hi. We're just going to go through a quick 5 minutes for Hannah of who People's Fundraising is and our differentiators. Okay, and then we've got some questions from Catherine we're going to go through. Okay, so who are we? We're People's Fundraising. We're a not-for-profit. We're a fundraising platform, and we help other not-for-profits fundraise. There are lots of fundraising platforms out there. So what are our differentiators? So there are three primary differentiators. The first one is pricing. So there are no setup fees or monthly charges. And we say that we're either the lowest cost platform on the market or very close to the lowest cost platform on the market, depending what fundraising tool you're looking at. So in general, for donations, we charge 1.75% or 2.75% for everything else. People can give you cash, check, bank transfer. If people are making donations or buying raffle tickets or things from the shop, you can put those through the system for free. Also, if people make donations and purchase memberships, we can reclaim the gift aid for you, and we do that for free as well. We'll reclaim, and the HMRC will transfer the money directly to you. Now, in terms of you receiving the money generated from the platform, you can get your money daily, weekly, every 2 weeks, monthly, quarterly, or ad hoc. Okay, so price-wise, it's a great proposition. Now, where we really come into our own is the set of features that we provide. So we boost fundraising income with the most comprehensive digital fundraising features and benefits available. Now, what does that mean? So we allow you to go and ask for donations. So you can set up as many donation pages as you like. For the 20% of your supporters, if you're lucky, who are going to do things like cake bake marathon runs, they can also set up individual and team fundraising pages. Okay. Now, as you become more mature in your fundraising capability through our platform, you can also run raffles, tombolas, ticketed events, memberships, auctions, lotteries, members lotteries, gift vouchers, shops, pop-ups, and live meetings. So the practice is that the more ways you offer your supporters that they can give you money, the more money, and engage with you, the more money you'll generate. So, for example, some people may like giving donations, other people may like entering the raffle, other people may like entering the members lottery, other people may like, for example, attending live meetings, but they're not always the same people. So the more ways you offer your supporters to fundraise, the more they'll engage and the more money you will generate. Okay. Now that's you engaging your supporters, but what about your supporters doing fundraisers themselves? So in the past, your supporters could only do the Cake Bake Marathon runs, but now your supporters, I'm referring to individuals, communities, and companies, can do all of these things to support you as well. So if you're a charity, you may have a local school supporting you. They could sell tickets for an event and run a tombola, and you get the money. Or you may have a local business who are supporting you. Maybe they sell widgets, so they set up a shop page, they sell widgets, and you get the money as well. Okay, so we offer your supporters more tools. Now, sticking on the features for the time being, there's a couple of other really interesting effects. So as you become more mature in your fundraising, you offer more ways for your supporters to engage. Instead of having to log into and integrate with 4, 5, 6, 7 different platforms, you're primarily logging in and integrating with one because we have all the tools. So we reduce time on the back office, integrating with your CRM accounts package, and we reduce time on the front office, so the fundraising team don't need to log into all of these different platforms. There's primarily one. Okay. Now, the other thing as well is you can now create really interesting fundraising experiences. People talk about the fundraising experience, and generally it's you make a donation, we'll send you some emails. But I always give this example as a really good fundraising experience. I'm going to talk about maybe, I think, 8 revenue streams, not even asking anyone for a donation. So you set up an event, sell tickets, individual tickets, family tickets, discount tickets. At the same time, you run a raffle and an auction where people can purchase raffle tickets before the event and it's drawn at the physical events. People can bid on auction items, and the bidding will end at the physical event as well. So you've got 3 revenue streams. For people who can't attend the physical event, you could stream it with a live meeting. That's a 4th revenue stream. You could take the recording of that, maybe edit it, and you could sell it via a shop. That's a 5th revenue stream. You can maybe put the unedited recording on YouTube, and then you could put a QR code maybe to a members lottery on top of that recording. So you've got a 6th revenue stream. You could previously have set up a membership page and people could become members, individual community or company members of your organization. And then when they buy event tickets or things from the live meeting or shops, they can get it at a members discount. So that's a 7th revenue stream. Maybe you've got some community or company partners who are going to support you, maybe providing premises and food for the physical event. Now you can say to them, look, okay, we can't pay you up front or we can't pay you. So how about we will generate money from the event, ticket sales, raffle ticket sales, and auction. We will give you for the food 10%, for the premises 20%, and we will take the 70%. So what our platform does, it opens up the number of communities and companies you can now engage with, because they can now not just give you stuff for free, but they can either cover their costs or generate income in supporting you doing fundraisers. So I think that's like a 8th revenue stream. And can you see what I've done there? It became an experience that you take your supporters through, as opposed to just saying, give us a donation. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, the last differentiator, and we'll come on to Catherine then, is we also provide a fully branded platform. And so Catherine represents the foster care charity. They're not quite online yet. Hopefully they're going to be online shortly. So what the fully branded platform does is it's exactly the same platform as People's Fundraising, in terms of now Catherine's supporters and herself and her team can set up all of these types of pages. But the difference is that instead of going to People's Fundraising, in this case, we're going to fundraising at fostercarecharity.org.uk. When people say make donations from maybe a donation page or a raffle page, they're going to get an email from, I think it's fundraising at Foster Care Charity, and the email is going to look like Foster Care Charity as well. Okay, now that is important for 2 reasons. The first reason is that when you are integrating from your website. You don't want any complicated integration. You just want to link out. So, for example, hopefully in the future, in the near-term future, when you go to the foster care charity website and you click donate, instead of going to something that's obviously not foster care charity, you're going to click on that and you're going to go to a page which is off the foster care charity domain, and it looks like foster care charity. So it's a very easy integration. The second reason why the fully branded platform is important is that the majority of supporters, well, we always say your website's not important when it comes to fundraising. And the reason why is you have the majority of your conversations via your social media channels. It could be WhatsApp, email, in person, could be Facebook, X, Instagram, whatever ways of communicating you have to communicate with your supporters. So you're communicating with your supporters, say on Facebook. You're telling them about all the amazing things that are happening within this case a foster care charity, and then you're introducing a link to the fundraising ask. Again, we provide the range of fundraising asks. So one time it's do you want to make a donation, another time it's do you want to buy something from the shop, another time it's do you want to become a member or corporate member. They're going to a branded page which reinforces brand recognition, which is really important. It engenders trust. And then because of the reinforced brand recognition and because of the trust, people make the purchase more often than not. And then they come straight back to the conversational channel again. Okay, so the branding it has a really, really, good and applicable purpose. Okay. Now, we talked about the cost of people's fundraising being either the lowest cost or the lowest cost platform. The fully branded platform is also less than running a Just Giving account as well. So you can have full branding, full range of tools. We set up the platform for free of charge. So Catherine will tell you we don't charge anything for creating this, and it's roughly pay as you go. There's a bit of a hosting charge to it, but it's roughly pay as you go. Okay. So that was maybe about 10 minutes. Was that okay, Hannah? Any questions on the overview?
No, that was really helpful. Following the session, would you drop me an email with how we go about doing the fully branded page? Because I don't believe that we've got that in place at the moment.
Yeah, can you put your email in chat, and then
Of course.
I'll send it over. That's no problems. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So Catherine asked some questions about shops and how to use shops. So I'm just going to sign in, and we'll talk about how different organisations use the shop functionality. So if you log on to People's Fundraising as a charity, you're going to get this sort of control panel, but it's going to look like People's Fundraising. If you log on to your branded platform, then it's going to look like your own charity brand. And so that's great for fundraisers as well. So now the world is you go to your website, or your supporters go to your website. It's like, I want to set up a fundraising page or a raffle page. I can do a raffle page now. How cool is that as a supporter? And they log into what looks like your website, and they have all of this capability. Okay. I mean, your supporters will only see this column of information, but you as a charity see the control panel. And by the way, what's on the control panel? This is pretty cool as well. In one place, you have your quick statistics, and that shows you in real time the number of items and the gross and the net for all of your fundraising streams in one place. And so that's, a lot of the time a paradigm shift for a lot of charities, because a lot of the time they have to wait until the end of week or end of month until they get all the data from the respective system. And then we've got about 35 different reports and payouts function. But let's go to the shops then. So Catherine, people use shops in two different ways, we've found. And the first way, I think, is really shown quite nicely with another branded platform. So this is Salt of the Earth branded platform. And they have what we are calling buy forward shop. Okay. So this is find a fundraiser page, and let me go and look for shops. Okay, they've actually got two types of shops here. Let's open them up. This one. So what this is called buying forward. And it's a way to engage supporters in a more interesting way than just asking for a donation. So I'm a supporter. I understand what Salt of the Earth do. And I can now buy 3 months supply of nutritious porridge or a fruit family tree or kitchen garden kit that will, obviously not for me, but that will therefore be donated or given to the respective family that they're supporting. Okay, now this is a really great way of fundraising. Now the reason why is because let's think about again what we want to try and do with our supporters. What we want to try and do with our supporters is to generate or create a relationship, get them interested and excited about them supporting you or supporting your cause. So Salt of the Earth could have said, do you want to give us a donation and then we will buy some nutritious porridge or family treat? They could have said that. Okay. But what they're doing here, they're saying, instead of you giving us a donation, why don't you choose the items we're offering you that we will give? So it allows the supporter to become more involved in the decision making. Yeah. So it's literally a more engaging experience than just asking for a donation. So you still get the money. It's just that the supporter themselves are more engaged. Okay. So just think about, things like buying forward. I think for foster care, in actual fact, there's lots of things you can buy forward, Catherine, like literally loads of stuff, because, the kids within the foster care, I don't know what you call it, system, there's loads of stuff they need.
Yes. Yeah.
Ask donations, but then maybe they need, I don't know, educational packs or days out or something like that. You can say, why don't you buy a gift of something for some of the kids? It's so much more interesting than just asking for donations.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant because it's just sparked about 400 ideas.
It's great, isn't it? It's great. Yeah. Okay, now, so let's go back to if you actually want to sell things.
Yeah.
Okay, so setting up a shop is dead easy. You create a shop page. And by the way, one mistake we think charities make is that when you go to their website, they have the shop link at the top. So you go to the shop link and maybe it's got some memorabilia or widgets or something like that. The question is, why is anyone ever going to go there? Right now, so what we say with our shop page, it's not that one shop, but you can create as many shops as you want. Therefore, you want to make contextual shops. And so a bit similar to everything should be campaign focused. So as a fundraiser, instead of saying give money for foster care charity, you should be saying give money to the foster care charity for this particular area. We are raising money for a particular house to be renovated, or we are raising money for extra support, educational support for this region. And then what you're doing is not only are you providing support of the different ways to fundraise, but they're also choosing the areas they want to fundraise in, right? So some people say, you know what, I'm a builder and I want to give money to supporting, via raffle, auction, shop, to supporting a renovation to one of the foster care homes. Or it could be, I'm a teacher, and I can now fundraise for more educational choices for the foster care kids. So everything should be campaign driven. And therefore, because everything's campaign driven, then you can have multiple shops. One shop for education, like buying educational experiences, one shop for, you can actually buy bricks. You know what I mean? If we're doing a renovation, why not buy bricks or cement to help with the renovation? And can you see, you can get people really involved in whatever campaign you're doing. Okay, so let's go through and set one up. Okay, so every page has a page name and a page description. So what was your initial shop going to be, Catherine?
We've been asked about selling or doing a special calendar, a 2026 calendar to sell instead of doing Christmas cards.
Okay, so that's a nice idea. I think already the types of shops we've discussed are way more interesting than calendars.
I agree.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that we can't do everything.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so every page is a name, every page is a description. On every page you can put the total generated on the page. On every page you can put the number of supporters who have purchased things. Okay, and then of course you've got your fully branded URL. Hannah and Megan, if this was People's Fundraising, this would be peoplesfundraising.com. Okay, but again, if it's branded, it'll be whatever your domain name is. Now you can ask for a delivery address or not. So that it depends how you want people to receive their items. So if you want to send the items to them, you would ask for a delivery address. If not, then you would add some instruction to say something like, come to this local office and pick up your calendar. Okay, so you need to decide what you want to do. So we're going to initially start off with a scenario that you're going to deliver the calendars to them. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you have a shop start and end date. So just say you're going to do these. Actually, let's just do them from today, and an end date on the 30th. Okay. Now, if we press create, and this is where we assign our campaign. You can have obviously as many campaigns as you like. We're raising money for the new extension. We're raising money for educational resources. One campaign could be a local school supporting us. And then, as we know, we can split payments with each individual campaign, or you can just say 100% is going to a particular campaign. And this is where we start putting in our products. Name, description. It can have as many images as you want to upload. We'll talk about scan and check in a minute. You put the price before tax and after tax and the tax rate, how many of them you've got, a minimum and maximum per purchase. We'll come to this in a minute. You can do product sales start and end date. So for example, you could actually sell calendars. You could do an early bird version for say £5, and then you could sell, the later ones for £7.50, and you can do the really late ones for maybe a totally discounted price. So this is why you do shop start and end dates. Now you've also got these categories as well. So what does that mean? You may have, say, 3 versions of the calendar. Okay, so you could say version. And what would the versions be? The versions would be, I don't know, pink, blue, or color. Right, actually, pink, blue, red, green. And you can have up to 3 different categories. Now the categories don't affect the price, but they still allow a supporter to be more specific in which subcategory of product they want. Okay, and then you assign it to the shop page. Okay, so really quickly, literally in a few seconds, right? I've created, in this case, a fully branded shop. Again, you would put YouTube videos here, Flickr slideshows, images here, talking about how much it's raised. We can turn that off, and it's got the products. I can now select, which category, the number of products I want, and I go through the purchase cycle. Okay, really, really straightforward. Now, if I can add as many products as I want, so I can just do that. Let's update that. And maybe this is nature, calendar nature 2025 or something like that. Again, maybe it's similar price, maybe it's more, same categories, I update that. Maybe I have a version that is calendar, I spelled that wrong as well. Deluxe with an E. Right. Maybe that's a different price. But again, I got the same categories. So if I now come back to the shop page, you can see that I can start to choose things here. And again, there can be images here and whatnot, and I can choose essentially the ones I want. Okay. Now we talked about delivery. So for example, if I buy 5 of those and I pay with, say, PayPal, it's going to give me the total. Okay, but what about delivery charge? So you can either embed delivery charge into the price itself, or you can do something cool, which is this. You can add a delivery charge product. Okay, So this is delivery charge. And maybe delivery charge is, say, £5. And this is where you say here, attach the product to every purchase. Okay. Now, I think we should hide the product, but let's just see what happens when we create it. Right. Okay, so it's talking about the delivery charge here. Yeah. Now, I can hide that from this page. Okay, but if you don't hide it, at least you're communicating that there's a delivery charge. Okay. Now, I can now select some of these, press pay, but I haven't done the delivery charge, but it's added a delivery charge to it. Yeah, which is quite nice. Now, I put in my details, I put in my delivery address and any contact preferences. Again, I can turn these off if I want, and I pay. Okay, now the system's going to send an email. It's going to, in this case, come from Fundraising at Foster Care Charity. And the email is going to look like Foster Care Charity. If it's coming from People's Fundraising, it will come from Support at People's Fundraising, and it's going to look like People's Fundraising. In the email, there's a couple of different emails, but this is the product purchase template. In the email, it says, dear first name, last name, email notification message. We'll come on to that in a moment. Thank you for purchasing X number of things from the page. And it gives a list, a table of all the things they've purchased. Okay. Now, the other thing here, it's got a scan and check, a QR code in it. Now, what scan and check is all about is if this wasn't for delivery, right, so you didn't have the delivery charge in it, you could just add a message saying, come to the office to pick it up, right? Then they would bring in the email with the QR code in. You could scan the QR code to see what they've purchased, and you can check it off that you've given them the products. And so if somebody brought that QR code in again and they scanned it, it's like, no, you've received the products already. So that's scan and check for you. And scan and check is applicable to memberships, ticketed events, shops, raffles, I think. So for example, if somebody wins a raffle prize, they get the QR code and you can scan and check it that you've given it out to them. Okay, so use scan and check. But the question is, how do you communicate that somebody needs to come into the office when they've purchased something? Okay, so this is where the email notification message comes in. So it says, dear first name, email notification, thank you for your product purchase. Hannah and Megan, this is the template that you see also on People's Fundraising. You can't change it because everyone gets the same template. Catherine, you can change this template because you've got your own branded platform. Okay, so you can change whatever's going on here. Okay. Anyway, you want to communicate to come into the office, so you add an email notification message, and they'll have, dear Nathan Pinkney, come into the office at this address to pick up your items, and bring in the email with a QR code. So all of our tools have this. You go to more, add an email notification message, and the text you put in here will be inserted into that email. So come to the office at XYZ to pick up your items. Bring this email along with you with the QR code in. Okay, so that will be added to the email as it goes out as well. Now you can also add a notification message. A notification message is after they've purchased something, they're going to go to a thank you page, and you can add wording to that as well. So bring the purchase email. So obviously that's it. It's not. It's something slightly different. So the success page will now look something like this. Thank you for purchasing X number of items from Calendar. You'll shortly receive an email receipt. Come to the office at XYZ to pick up your items, blah, blah, blah. So you want to use things like notification messages to communicate different things out to your audience as well. So hopefully what I've done there is I've gone through how shops can be used in different contexts, so buy forward or actually selling calendars. And I've gone through the mechanism of selling products with a delivery address and getting a delivery charge to deliver products out, and also one where people come and pick up the products, whereby it's controlled with scan and check, so there's no fraud in terms of three people coming in to pick up the calendars when only one's been purchased. So that's cool.
Yeah. Thank you, Nathan. The other side of it is, what kind of report is available for that for the shop? So will it break down the tax and the product price and the delivery as separate?
So I'll show you the associated reports. And by the way, on the reports, and Hannah and Megan, this is true for anyone, we have about 35 different reports related to all the different areas on the platform. If there's a report that you need and we don't have, as long as other charities and non-profits, schools, PTAs can use it, then we'll implement that for you. With that said, our set of reports hasn't really changed in probably a year and a half now. So it looks as though we've got to that place whereby they're quite static. With that said, Catherine's requirement for breakdown of delivery, I'm not sure we do that, but let's check that out. Okay, so reports, you go to your control panel, you go to reports, and if you're looking at the purchases, the income report is amazing. Okay, now the income report, if you put a start and an end date in, and you click here, it will give you every single piece of information about every purchase through the system. So page name, campaign name, all the details of the supporter, telephone number, address, email address, their contact preferences, if it's gift aided or not, page type, transaction date, payment type, gross, donation gross, that's the donation contribution to the purchase. All of our pages, other than donation pages, you can always ask for an optional donation. So when somebody's buying products, you can say, do you want to make an optional donation at the same time? Okay. Charges, net, and a few other things. Okay. So this will give a report of all the purchases through the system. Now, for smaller organizations, sometimes you don't need an account package or CRM. And the reason why is, if this is the raw data, normally you would put that raw data into your account package CRM to answer questions like, which of my supporters has contributed the most money over the last year? Okay, well, you can do that with our advanced reporting. So if you come here, you can just download that raw data. But if you click here, you can do things like get the data and group the data by, you can say, like, email address. Now that will say, just say Hannah, Megan, Catherine, and Nathan, we've all done shop purchases, donations, raffles, auctions, lotteries over the last year. That will total all of them together and give me 4 lines with the total generated by each of us individually. So it answers that question, who's the supporter who generates the most? Or just say Catherine, just say you've got 5 or 6 different shop pages and you're like, okay, which shop page is generating the most? Then what you can do is you can say group by page type, right? No, group by page name, right? So that will be the individual pages, but that will return, if you've got donations, raffles, that will return all of them, but how much they've generated. So then you say filter by just shop pages, and that will give you the total of all shop pages and nothing else. So we can give you a really good management information overlay even before you get it into your CRM or accounts package, right? And so a lot of the time, charities don't need anything else. So not only do we help you on the back office, reducing management integration costs, sometimes we can take out whole systems like CRMs, not account packages, but CRMs. Okay. All right, so you've got the income report. Always look at that for the actual purchases, but not the products of the purchase. Okay. So if you go into reports again, in shops, we've got a product purchase report, and that's probably one of the most important ones for you. And this will show the page name, product name, SKU codes, price without tax, address. So this will be the delivery address. or the address if it's not for delivery, and their contact preferences, gross, payment type, transaction dates, the scan and check status. So this is quite important. So if somebody's come in and you've scanned that you've given them the calendars, this will tell you that you've given them the calendar for that particular product. Or say they've come in and they've ordered 3 calendars and you only had 2 calendars, right? You could check off they've received 2 calendars and you haven't been able to give them the third one. So then they come back another day and you can check off that you've given them the third one. Okay. And then these are the category values and whatnot. So this is a report you would use for the particular or specific, what people have specifically brought or bought. And again, what you can do is you can say, okay, just give me it for the calendar fundraiser, or just give it to me, just give me the data for the buy forward shop, or just give it to me for the buy forward educational shop. Yeah. So is that okay from the reporting side of things?
Yeah, so we set up delivery as a product. So the product type would show up as a line item on the report, wouldn't it?
That's correct. Yeah. The product type itself. Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. Yeah. So I've bought 3 items plus delivery. There will be 4 items in this report.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, shops are one of those things that a lot of fundraisers, especially charity fundraisers, haven't got into yet. They think it's like, just buy mugs or t-shirts, but it has such a really, really useful applicability in fundraising. It really helps engage, especially the buy forward shops. It helps really engage massively. And then you can do things like so if you come from children, cats, dogs, homeless, you should always generate fundraising income because people love those categories. Everything else, it's slightly harder. And for example, Catherine, you could say, for example, you could go to your foster homes and you could say, why doesn't everyone create some art or something? And then you sell the artwork that the kids have created, or pottery or whatever. You've got a resource there that you can use really quite effectively to generate income. And you could have a shop page for, I say you can have a campaign page for the different locations. You can have a shop page for the kids' arts, for everything, and or per location and whatnot. So then people can decide, okay, I just want to buy the children's art in general, or I want to support my local foster care charity specifically with their art. So there's loads you can do with shops. Yeah. All right. Was that okay then?
That was really, really helpful. Yeah, because the shop element of people's fundraising was one of the things that really attracted us in the first place, because we could see that potential, in your early presentations. And as a charity, it's one of the things that we found the hardest to find the right platform to set up.
Yeah.
To do just to be able to do selling through shops, as it were, or promotion through shops, and this gives us so much more scope.
Yeah, good. All right, so let's move on. So Hannah and Megan, any questions from yourself? Would you like me to go over anything or anything specific at all? We've spoken a lot about shops today as opposed to anything else. Megan.
Yeah, so my question was all about raffles, actually.
Okay.
I've got a couple. You kind of did touch on it when you were talking about shops with the automated messages. So for raffle, I just wanted to know how you could see what the message. So when someone buys a raffle ticket, what's the message that they get from people's fundraising as the thank you, thanks for purchasing 5 tickets, or so what that already was, and then if you could change it was my other question about that one.
Yeah, are you on People's Fundraising?
Yes, yeah, we are. I'm from St Gemma's Hospice.
St.
Not sure we have the full package.
You guys totally need the branded platform. Yeah, what are you under actually?
No, is it not St Gemma?
No.
Oh, strange.
I don't think it's case sensitive now.
Oh, do you want the charity number? Would that help?
No, it will be the name. Yeah, you're definitely on people's fundraising, aren't you?
Yeah. Is it maybe because we've got nothing live at the minute?
No. Okay, all right. I'll show it to you with a different one.
Okay.
Okay, so this is our default account. We do demos in. Okay, so raffles.
Yes.
So everything's generally under view, update, delete raffle pages.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't notice this, but what we try and do on our interface is remove as much text as possible until it's applicable. So always look out for the help about, and
Right.
there's generally a lot more information about things. So if you go to the view, update, or delete raffle pages, you
Yeah.
can see the raffle ticket purchase template and the raffle prize template. Okay. So the raffle ticket purchase template, it's
Right.
this, dear, and obviously these things will change for the actual values themselves. So it'll be dear Nathan Pinkney, email notification message. Thank you for your purchase of X raffle tickets to page name from the address. Your ticket details are as follows. Now, this will be a table of all, how much they've purchased, if they've made an optional donation, all of the raffle ticket individual numbers. So, for example, if they've bought 20 tickets, there'll be 20 unique numbers there. Okay. And then it's got a few things on the end. And then this is our widget that we add to show all the different ways that they as a supporter can fundraise. Okay. So on people's fundraising, you can't change that template. You can introduce your own wording with the email notification message on your branded platform. You can change this however you want. Okay, so I gave the example of Catherine on their branded platform. They have full control over this. So you can add whatever wording you want here. That will just be inserted when the email is generated. And that's true for the raffle ticket purchase email and the raffle prize email if you use the raffle prize email. Okay, so if you're drawing your raffle and you're not sending out notifications, nobody's going to get this. But if you do send out notifications, then people are going to get that. Okay.
Okay, thank you. When it comes to so the email notification template, there's also the thank you page. I know it's when you were going through with Catherine in the shops. Whereabouts do I find that one?
Right. Let me show you that. I'll quickly set up a quick raffle. By the way, although I'm setting this up really fast, I think it goes to show how fast you can set up a raffle once you know how to set it up. And so when you're doing raffles, don't just think about we're doing the summer raffle or Christmas raffle. Mix it up a bit. So maybe do a high value raffle. Find a company partner or find a high value item and sell tickets for £50 or something like that. Maybe there are only 100 tickets you can buy, which make it more interesting. Or I always say, if maybe you're working with a local restaurant and they say, you know what, let's get involved. It's Monday now, and we'll offer a family of 5 a free meal, drinks included, and then you can do like a raffle that's lasting a couple of days, right? So, again, it's about making the experience interesting for supporters. I know St. Gemma, you do the big raffles, but you can make that far more interesting for your supporters by, introducing high value flash raffles and whatnot. Okay, so let's put the draw date in. Promoter. Okay, I'm going to add my campaign. And I'm going to put my prize. We've got one charity, I think they're doing a raffle every week, which is quite interesting. And again, that's a nice mode of doing it. What they're doing is they're creating an expectation amongst their audience that there's something cool every week. And so then what happens is after a while, they start looking out for it. Now, the reason why that's quite important is that a lot of time with raffles, we always say nobody cares really about what they win. It's a game. It's a way of engaging. So the weekly raffle is interesting. It's like nobody really cares about going to the restaurant or getting that bottle of wine or getting that teddy, but it's just far more interesting than just making a regular donation. And there's an interaction and stuff like that. So, okay, going back to the thank you page, if you look at these icons here, one will copy that. One will give you the QR code. This will show you the page itself, and this will show you the thank you page as it stands. Okay. Now, what you can do with that thank you page is a couple of things. You can add a notification message. Okay, let's bold that and make it slightly bigger. Let's just turn off some of these. And now you can see the notification message there. And again, you can put a hyperlink there or whatever. So it could be, you know, thanks for making a raffle. By the way, click here to see the impact of the raffle. Or click here to, you know, why not now go to our shop where you can buy things for the kids or for the hospice or things like that. So the reason why we do these is to help you continue that relationship with your supporter to pass them to the next action. Okay, so you can also add a questionnaire as well. Now you can add a questionnaire after the purchase or at point of purchase. Okay, we always say, oh, do as much as you can. If you're going to ask whatever questions, do it after the purchase. If you do it at point of purchase, people have to answer the questions before they proceed. Now that can dissuade people from making the purchase. So unless it's something super, super important, do everything after the purchase. So it could be something like, how are you today? So we're going to do it after the purchase, and we're going to have a multi-list of, now we're going to have a list of good, great, excellent, add question, or, you know, you want to do things a little bit more interesting, right? So, you know, mailing list, yes, no type thing. Okay, let's add that question. So now if I come back to the thank you page now, that questionnaire will now be asked after. Okay, you know, here we go. We've got this list. I can select one of those, and again, I've got my different types of things. If this was a multi-select list, I could select multiple items, or true, false, or I could say what's the date and time of your birth, or only enter a number, how many people are joining, or something like that. Okay. Now, the other thing you can do with the thank you page is also to add an e-card. E-cards are great. Now, e-cards are a way of sharing, so it's better to show you what I mean by what an e-card is. So I come here now, and I've got my e-card. So what it does, it gives me the ability as somebody who's made a purchase to send an e-card to whomever I want, right? So I've just bought something in the raffle, and I now am super interested. So this will be, you know, populated with the sender name, me. So recipient name, wife at hotmail.com. Hi, honey, want to buy some raffle tickets. Right. Now, I can view the template. Now, the template you've set up yourself. Okay, so this isn't, you know, us imposing a template. So this can be anything you want it to be, right? So when I click send, the system will replace the recipient name here for the recipient name. It will replace the sender name for the sender name. It will replace the recipient message for the recipient message. But you could have put wording, whatever wording you want, and that will go off now to my wife. And the template, I've included a link to the raffle page itself. But again, you can put anything else you want there. So it's a bit similar to social sharing, but it's a little bit more directed. Okay. Now, social sharing, you can also do social sharing from the page itself with all of these things. So you've got a share page, and I can do the QR code, I can copy the link, or for example, I can post it to Facebook, or I can, you know, open up my WhatsApp and, you know, do a WhatsApp message for it, right? So yeah, there's lots you can do on that thank you page. Now, if this was a branded page, this would look like foster care charity on the foster care charity branded site, or if you had themed it, this page would look like that specific theme.
Yeah.
So
When it comes to the e-card, can I just ask, is there a way to see how many people go on and do that? So you can see how.
there's not actually, sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. It was
You
just
should put that feature
interesting.
in, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I had another question, please. It was just about the banner at the top of the actual raffle page and how to, create one. Because obviously, if we don't have the full branded experience,
Yeah. By the way, I've said this. You definitely should. Right.
I'll
Now,
follow back.
yeah, you can add your own images, and for example, let's just add that, and you can put your own social media bits and bobs. If you put the YouTube share or share URL, the video will appear. Now, beyond that, you can add a theme. Just play around with the themes. There's some beautiful themes, like the Christmas raffle 2. Look at this for a theme. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Or there's a really nice summer raffle one. So you can have your own theme. Sorry, you can't have your own theme. If you want something a little bit more Saint Gemma, then send us over the images, the fonts, the colors you want to use, and then we'll implement the theme for you so it's available for all of your pages. The only thing there can't be anything Saint Gemma specific on here. So this image, for example, and these images and look and feel came from other charities who didn't want it to look fully like people's fundraising, but they wanted something a little bit more cool. And this, I love this. This is so nice. And loads of people are using this as well, really nice colors and whatnot. So we can, and especially if you've got in-house art people, send us over some beautiful banner images and whatnot, colors, fonts, and then your pages can look a little bit more like Saint Gemma. Obviously, if you had the branded platform, you could have as many themes as you want, and the look and feel, people wouldn't know that they're not on your website.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, send those over to support at People's Fundraising. And yeah, we've got themes for everything essentially, and generally they're supplied from other people, which is quite nice.
Oh. And sorry, last question from me. I was just wondering if is it possible to test the raffle on People's Fundraising before it goes live, or is that just impossible?
You can do. You can set up your own test page, but no, we don't provide that testing
That's fine.
facility.
Just checking. Okay.
We know it works because we literally, like, things like raffles, auctions, shops are getting up there as well. They're some of the most popular fundraising tools. And I think what some charities do, they may set up a test raffle and see how that works, and then they just know how it works for all of the future raffles.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
So, okay, well, we've got a couple of minutes left. Any other questions, Hannah, Megan, Catherine?
Nope.
No? All right.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, you're welcome. So thanks very much. It's been a really interesting session. Thanks for the questions.
There was one
That'd be
thing,
great.
Nathan.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It was the piece about how people who are setting up their own fundraising pages for us, if we're hosting an event or running an event.
Right. There's 2 ways you can do that. Okay. So you can imagine it's a team. You can set up a team page. So let me set this up for you really quickly. So we've only got 5 minutes. So our marathon team page. Okay, and Megan, to the point earlier on, foster care charity, they've got lots of other themes. So they've not only got their base theme, but they've got other themes as well that I think what they've done is you've just changed the background image, haven't you?
Yeah, at the moment we weren't entirely sure how we were going to use it, so you know, the learning curve will probably go in and do more with that.
Yeah. So, okay, we're creating a team fundraising page really quickly. Maybe you've got a target, and then okay. So I've now set up a team fundraising page, and you assign the team fundraising page to a campaign again. Right. Now, what you can do is you can either, the link to people signing up can either be here. Yeah. And again, you've got your YouTube videos and whatnot, and then they click sign up and they go, the system takes them through setting up a fundraising page.
Right.
And on this page, as people sign up, all of the pages will appear down here. When people make donations to the individual pages, they'll appear here. Right. Or what you could do, you could send this link instead. Yeah. So essentially from that external platform you're talking about, this is the link that is sent, and then they'll be asked to log in or sign up, and then it will go through setting up a page.
Right.
I would think in actual fact, sending them to this page, it will be a little bit more understandable. Because you would have something like here saying, this is a sign up page for the team marathon. Thanks very much. We really appreciate your registration. Click the sign up button above to set up your own fundraising page, and then socialize that yourself. Always come back here to see the overall generated amount.
Got you.
Yeah. But you can do it both ways in actual fact.
Yeah, we'll probably explore more of that, but that for right now, I think it gives me an answer that I can give them.
Yeah, good. All right, couple of minutes. Any other quick ones, Megan, Hannah, Catherine?
No, thanks.
No, all right. Well, again, thank you very much. It's been really great questions today, and I'll just send this out to our community as well, so people can see what we've talked about. If you need any other questions or queries answered, we're always on the other end of the phone. But we're doing these every week as well at the moment on Wednesdays. So thank you very much for your time and have great weeks.
Thank you.
You.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.